Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your November 2020 mid-month general readings. We're looking at the last 2 weeks of November, and this reading is for the fire sign of Sagittarius. Welcome everyone, I hope you're doing well. As we continue to transition into our winter season and holiday season. For those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have a safe and wonderful holiday. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today, and for all of your likes, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, your feedback, donations, comments, all of that. Thank you so much. So this reading is for the fire sign of Sagittarius, so that's Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or if you're cross-watching for a Sagittarian as well, it's all relevant. But if you know all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch them all for additional insight and perspective into whatever's going on in your life right now. If you find that any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something for yourself or for someone else, we are entering the holiday gift-giving season, and nothing is more personal than a personal reading. Then you can click on the description link below, click on that little arrow, you'll see some contact details. You can email me at maggie_mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond the same day with more information. I do offer a wide variety of readings. Again, they make great gifts, especially during the holiday season, and particularly popular this time of year. I always get a lot of requests for the 6 and 12 month overviews I do, which give you kind of an overview of what's coming for the next 6 or 12 months. Particularly helpful as we transition out of an old year and into a new one. So email me if you're interested. I'd be delighted to work with you. I do readings full time, so I'm pretty diligent at working with people's schedules to get those readings set up as quickly as possible. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what's in store for you for the first half of November. I'm using a new deck, Tarot of Dreams. Beautiful artwork. This is what the box looks like. Getting used to shuffling them. They're a little bigger than I'm used to. Okay, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, we begin with the King of Swords. The Ace of Cups. The Ten of Wands. The Moon. The Seven of Swords. And Death. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy for the last half of November is Strength, which makes sense because it looks like something challenging is going on, and strength is about strength. It's about facing our fears, our doubts, our insecurities, whatever is happening. It can represent wrestling with our shadow self, which is another way of saying, taking a look at the parts of us we don't like to acknowledge or wouldn't want seen, poor decisions or habits that we might have. This is something which takes a great deal of strength. It's also what you gain a great deal of strength from, looking at a situation deeply and honestly and moving through it. We have the King of Swords with the Moon, which also represents the internal struggle here, because the King of Swords is a very clear thinker. This is the King of Air. This is somebody who's all about truth and integrity and honor and righteousness, and somebody smart, intelligent, well-educated perhaps, somebody who's a clear thinker. This is somebody who tries to look at things from a place of the mind before the emotions, in a very linear sort of way. But clarifying the King of Swords is the Moon, which can represent deep-seated feelings, fears, something kind of tugging at the bottom of your stomach. It can represent unrealistic fears, because there's a bit of a lack of clarity with the moon. I mean, the moon sheds light like the sun. Well, actually it reflects the light of the sun. So it's a very thin, watery light, and things look very different. The animals often that are usually portrayed on the moon card can represent the primeval parts of ourselves, something tugging deep in our stomach. But generally it's not completely clear. And I feel like there's a struggle here with trying to do what is right or what makes sense versus in a situation where it feels like you don't have very much clarity. And there might be fears kind of weighing on you, but trying very hard to do the right thing or make a decision that's maybe more practical than emotional, which is taking strength. We have the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Swords here. The Ace of Cups could represent new love and romance, emotional renewal in an already existing situation, the heart beginning to open up again. The Seven of Swords I sometimes refer to as my sneaky thief card. It can represent theft or exploitation, lies, deception, cheating, but it also can represent just operating undercover, off the grid, being strategic, something being concealed. The Seven of Swords simplistically represents somebody who has something they want to do, accomplish, acquire, and in the course of doing that, they are doing things undercover. They're keeping their thoughts, ideas, actions, plans to themselves as much as possible, because that's what they feel they need to do to be, you know, to accomplish or acquire what it is that they want. This can be a card of hidden motives. And it could be positive, but I feel like here it's challenging. It feels like something that didn't get off the ground, and you're struggling to kind of get through that. It might be that somebody lied to you, because there's a real ending here. We have the Ten of Wands and we have Death, which both represent endings. Tens in the tarot represent the end of a cycle, something coming full circle. The Ten of Wands is a heavy burden coming to an end, something which you've been carrying for quite some time. And Death, of course, represents a final ending as well, and transformations moving forward and rebirth in something new. Yeah, it feels like something which didn't get off the ground. And the reason it didn't get off the ground, it could be for some of you because it wasn't an honest beginning or an honest opportunity, meaning it could have been that something was presented to be a new beginning and you were lied to, or you found out it just wasn't. It's something that didn't get off the ground because somebody had hidden motives behind it. Now, because this is a general reading, it could be, you know, in any area of life. It could be, you know, if it's work, it could be an actual job that you were promised or that you thought you were going to get, and it just turned out, you know, it just didn't materialize, it didn't get off the ground, you know, a project, etc. It could be new love and romance. It could be a reconciliation. It really feels quite strongly to me that it wasn't real in the first place. It feels like smoke and mirrors, and you maybe bought into it and were really thinking that this was going to be the thing, the job, the person, and it turned out not to be because, you know, I'm getting smoke and mirrors because it's like, oh, here's this great brand new opportunity to distract you with, while behind the scenes they're doing that so they can do something else, the thing that they're wanting to do or acquire or accomplish. And once that's done, then what you thought was a new beginning or a new opportunity has turned out in fact not to be. And it's just about kind of getting past the end of that, getting through the end of that. Because after the 10 and after death, rebirth begins. We start over again, even though the ending here looks quite challenging. let's clarify, see if we can get a little bit more information on the subject matter. Although really being a general reading, it can resonate for some of you just in just about any area of life. The Ace of Cups for some of you might indicate new love or a new opportunity in love or a reconciliation, perhaps. The Four of Wands. Traditionally, the happy home card, unexpected blessings, marriage, weddings, celebratory events with friends and family. On a lighter level, it might be, you know, not being able to get together with friends and family for the holidays, perhaps. Although I'm not really feeling much of a strong pull towards that. So the Four of Wands, again, this could mean a variety of things. It could mean an actual home structure itself, apartment or house, you know, a job, marriage, relationships. It's just something just didn't get off the ground because it doesn't look like it was real to begin with. And it looks like, Sagittarius, that you're actually dealing with it well, in the sense that your, you know, overall energy is strength, which is facing it headlong, as difficult, head on, as difficult and challenging as it is, which is what you need to do to move through it, So let's pull some, and I'm sorry to see this, but it's a short period of time. So let's pull some advice and guidance, Sagittarius. What is the best way for Sagittarius to move through this, or any messages for Sagittarius? The Tower. The Tower as advice means let it come down. Let the structure, the situation, whatever, let it come down. The Tower represents something unexpected which you have no control over, which comes in and it breaks something down you maybe thought was real, solid, stable, reliable, but it was flawed somehow. And it needs to come down so that something real and solid and stable can be built in its place so that you can move on. So whatever is ending here, whatever is crumbling or coming down or ending, let it. Let's see what's behind that. The Ten of Swords, yeah, betrayal. Feeling stabbed in the back or thrown under the bus, again, whether it's love or work or some other situation. This is, you know, it wasn't ever going to be what it was portrayed to be. Let's clarify why the Tower. I mean, in a sense, the Tower always crumbles because it was flawed. Something was wrong with it. The Ten of Cups, because your Ten of Cups is still out there. The Ten of Cups is considered the happy home card or the happily ever after card, marriage, childbirth, blessings, everything that represents feeling like you've come to a place where everything has finally come together in a really beautiful way, particularly around home and family. And this Tower needs to happen. This Tower needed to happen because what you really want out there, as represented in the happy home card, the Ten of Cups, is still out there. It's still out there for you, Sagittarius. One more card. Okay, one just flew right out of there. The Palace of Wands. So in this deck, the artist added what you might call a fifth court card, which is the palace in each suit. This is the Palace of Wands, the Palace of Fire. And it can represent the actual physical environment in all its magnificent beauty and the full achievement of that suit, the full energy of the achievement, fulfillment of that suit, which is fire, passion, desire, creativity, everything that you want. but it can also represent what you want is there, and even though it's on a mountain, which indicates maybe a bit of a long climb, it is there and it is attainable, you know. And it's your Ten of Cups. It's what you really, really want. So even though you thought this was going to be the thing, it feels like it never really got off the ground because it wasn't real to begin with. You know, I mean, the reason why it happened is, you know, deceptions, hidden motives, and ultimately betrayal, feeling thrown under the bus, regardless of the situation. Because what you really want, so I think what Spirit is trying to tell you here, Sagittarius, is don't give up heart. And I think with the Strength card, you're doing that, or you're trying to do that, because what you really want is still out there. It's still attainable. This was not it. So let it come down, let it end. A challenging reading, but hopeful as well, because again, what you want is still coming, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, that is your reading for the last 2 weeks of November. It's a bit more of a challenging one, so I'm not going to say I hope you enjoyed it, but I hope it was helpful. I hope it brought, you know, maybe some validation or feedback or clarity in some way. Again, if you would like to be, my hair, if you are interested in perhaps taking a deeper look at something or reaching out for a personal reading or information for yourself or as a gift for friends, family, or loved ones, click on the description link below. Email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to hear from you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the December general readings. Until then, stay safe and well, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.